Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Bay and welcome back to my new YouTube video. If you're wondering why my background has changed, so I had a really hard time in school today, so the foundation week ended today. So I'm really out of energy, my voice even cracked. My voice, I really can't use it. So maybe I could just lay here in my bed and maybe just comfortably speak and continue to make my YouTube videos. So in this video, I'll be talking about sharing what I have learned in my science chemistry, 1122. So, before I go on deeply, I think that gives like a funny stereotype about with people thinking about chemistry. It's like biology. It's kind of relatively less preferable and favorable than biology and physics, right? Because chemistry, it just talks about the things that is created by God, and the content of thing is vast. Really, there's thousands of things, talking about things. There's like the content is really immensely vast, and in there I want to be talking about the three important laws of chemistry, and to be talking about it, it's the first. It's the law of conservation of mass. Sorry, and next is the law of definite proportions. And third is the law of multiple proportions. These are the three basic, but the most fundamental, but the most essential laws. And maybe I should, explain. So first, the law of conservation of mass. So the law of conservation of mass is here. I'll read the description, the definition to make it more clear. This is the law of conservation of mass. In an ordinary chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the products. So, when you produce chemical compounds, like scientists of the 18th century noticed that the reaction of some elements often produced compounds that weighed more or a bit less than the total weight of the initial reactants. For example, when they heated tin in an open container, it formed compound tin oxide. Well, now we know because the atmosphere has. Wait a minute, let me just. We know that the atmosphere contains oxygen. That's why when you turn it, it becomes a tin oxide. So it's like this. When the amount of reactants and the amount of the product will be same, the mass. Next is the law of definite proportions. I'll read it. This is also called Proust's law. A given compound always contains the same exact proportion of elements by mass. Yes. So the law of definite proportions, this was discovered by Joseph Louis Proust. So he discovered that copper and carbon and oxygen combines to make copper carbonate. So like every case, he found the compound contained copper, carbon, and oxygen in different proportions by weight. And there he made it in 1799. He announced his discovery of the law of definite proportions. And last, I'll explain and introduce about the final law is the law of multiple proportions. So this was discovered in the early 1800s. So that this was discovered by an English scientist, John Dalton. So it goes like this. So the law of multiple proportions. When two elements form two or more different compounds, the ratio of the masses of the second element that combined with a fixed mass of the first element can always be expressed as a small whole number. Yes. So, for example, carbon and oxygen can combine to form two different compounds, right? One with a ratio of 1 part carbon to 1 part oxygen, the other with a ratio of 1 part carbon to 2 parts oxygen, like that. And I think this is it for explaining about the three basic laws that I've learned. The chemical laws of conservation of mass, the laws of definite proportions, and the laws of multiple proportions. Thank you, and let's see the next video. Bye bye.